Welcome, Gunrunner.
Hello everybody, Kieran aka the Laird here, and I've got a new free magazine review for you today. Haven't done one of these for a little while because I ran out of ones to look at, but I've just found another called Breakspace, and thanks to my friend Sean Bebbington for pointing this one out to me. And it looks great from what I've flicked through so far. I haven't had a really good look at it, but I certainly had a look through both issues, and there was lots of nice stuff in there. As you can see, the website for it is pretty bare bones. There's almost nothing there apart from download links, but I thought I'd start with that anyway, like I usually do with these kind of things. But yeah, I've already downloaded both issues, which you can download in PDF, or you can download a phone version. I'll just show you that actually while I'm here. So there you go. You can a phone-friendly version if you want to look at it on your phone, or a standard PDF for looking at it on your PC, which is pretty good, isn't it? But we'll have a look through both issues. You can see what it's all about. But as I say, it's a special magazine that focuses on ZX Spectrum Homebrew. So all the new modern games that people are still creating for the vintage British computer, which is very cool to see. As I grew up with the Spectrum back in the day, as I've mentioned many times, so still a machine that obviously had a pretty special place in my heart. And obviously there's a real fervour for specky games at the moment because of the new plug and play Spectrum that was released fairly recently. But we'll flip over now and we'll have a look at issue 1. So here we are with issue 1 of Breakspace. It says the Economy magazine for ZX Spectrum enthusiasts on the cover. Economy, I'm guessing, because it's free. But nice enough cover. Obviously mentioning that it's got 33 reviews and it's all new games. And you'll already see from the cover actually that there's a lot of comedy in this. And you'll see why in a minute, because it goes into obviously who the people are who review the games, as well as a index and editorial and stuff, and you'll see that several of the people involved in this magazine were also involved in the ZX Spectrum It Lives website and the accompanying PDF books and magazines that they made, which I've looked at on the channel before. I'll link those down in the comments description if you haven't already seen the ZX Spectrum It Lives books and magazines, because they're great, and they're also free downloads in PDF form, just like this one. So yeah, they are well worth grabbing as well. But yeah, it's not surprising to see the comedy with those guys involved, because they're brilliant. It's also interesting to see a few other people I know involved in this magazine, like Dave Sloan now, Sloaney as people know him, and Sean, who I already mentioned. I think he's involved somewhere. I think he did some stuff in issue 2. I believe, and there is and they talk about what they do in their favourite games and stuff there, and as I say, there's a list of all the games there. So let's have a look what we've got in here. So yes, a Crazy Burger is the first one there, and I like the fact that they've got the different opinions, the different reviewers. Some magazines back in the day used to do that. I remember CMVG and Meme Machines doing a thing where they would get another person to comment on the reviews. One of the Spectrum mags used to do it as well, and I can't think which one it was. I can't think if it was Sinclair used to do it, or your Sinclair, but one of the Spectrum mags did it for a while as well, where they would sort of give a second opinion. I think it was your Sinclair. Dodge City, that's interesting to see. I didn't know that had been released for the Spectrum, because that's a TI-99 4A game, and it's a very enjoyable one actually. So that's cool there to see that on here. Actually, I don't see any mention there that it's originally a TI-99 game that's been converted over to the Spectrum, but I must give that a play because I like the TI-99 version. So yeah, and then talking about Alex Cooper, who does some really cool games in BASIC. Lunar Patrol there, which is like a Moon Patrol clone. Looks like a good one though, because the official port of Moon Patrol on the Spectrum is crap. So yeah, anything is better than that. ZX Log Chopper. What's that? It looks like a basic game, very simple one. Moon Run. That looks quite interesting. It's like an endless runner kind of Cannonbolt style game, it looks like to me. Frantic Days, that looks like a Jet Set Willy clone. Jetpack Miner, which isn't a clone of Jetpack or Manic Miner, but cleverly combines their names. Mr. Potato and Potato Land. It's a platformer, colourful one. Horace Goes Fishing. Love it. Got to get on the Horace things there. Looks like it's probably programmed in BASIC, but quite funny. Throbbing Headache DX. That looks very nice, doesn't it? Lovely colourful graphics on that one. Lots of games here that I just don't know. It's hard to keep up with the homebrew scene, especially with the Spectrum, because there's just so many releases every single week. We've got a nice text adventure. Football Smellable, is that pronounced? God knows. Very strange name for a game. Bearded Fantasy. Jewel. What's that? It looks a bit like Solar Fox from the screenshots, but yeah. Masterpiece is some sort of variation on chess. Martian War. A very simple game there. Everest Challenge. That looks quite interesting. Skill Team, that's like a soccer band game. I was looking at this the other day actually, and it looks really cool. That's the one I do know about because I was watching a video of it. Frankie Goes Home, that looks quite cool. Millie, it's like a card game. They killed my little one. A cat's just jumped up, so apologies if there's sound on the mic then, I couldn't help it. I didn't realise one was in the room actually, so there we go. I shut the door to not let any cats in. I didn't realise there was one hiding in here somewhere. Connect 4. Far West, that looks good. That looks really nice. Very console-y style graphics on that one, looks great. Breakspace Crossword, that's cool. Quadrax, actually I played this one quite recently because someone posted about it. I think it was Tez, actually, Tez Rollins, who does the Rollins Reviews YouTube channel, very good Spectrum YouTube channel. He posted about this in the ZX Spectrum group on Facebook, and I tried it. Very hard, but very cool game. You basically have to move people around to solve puzzles. It's a little bit like The Humans. That's the game it reminded me most of. Very cool, actually. Il Nome della Rosa. And it's like Sean Connery there. Very cool. So it's a kind of point and click sort of style adventure. Very cool. Bonsai Quest, another platformer. The House That Wept, as a text adventure. Rollerball. There really is a lot of reviews in this, isn't there? And Mayan, which is a kind of Pac-Man clone with burgers. Very interesting. Plyuk. So the big chunky colourful graphics on that one. Very interesting looking. And that's it. That's the end of issue 1. Quite interesting indeed. So we'll get up issue 2 in a moment. So here we are with issue 2 with this lovely Frogger cover. And that's actually another Spectrum homebrew I have actually played is Frogger RX, because I played that recently. Because I was going to include it in one of my Spectrum books actually. The next one that I'm writing. And I was playing it for that. And I thought, yeah, this is really cool. Probably the best version of Frogger I've played on the Spectrum actually. And there's our lineup of our reviews again. Here it says there's Sean. I said he was involved in issue 2, didn't I? So lots of cool stuff there. There's our list of what's in this one. Lots of stuff. And Animated Al, he's the guy who makes, I think I mentioned it a minute ago, he makes lots of basically he makes lots of basic Spectrum games in Spectrum Basic. Get my words right. And he releases the code and stuff so you can have a look and try and learn from what he does, and helps people learn basic programming. But another thing that he's also been doing recently is trying to remake classic games in BASIC, like Jetpack and Manic Miner and Death Chase. Really clever what he's been doing, trying to remake these games in BASIC. Very cool, actually, what you can achieve with Spectrum Basic if you know your way around it. So, I mentioned there as well for another really good Spectrum magazine that's come out recently you do have to pay for, Freeze ZX, because there was already the Freeze magazine for Commodore 64, Very popular Commodore 64 magazine. One of the best sort of retro gaming magazines out there. And now they've done a ZX Spectrum version. So that's really cool to see. And there is Frogger RX, which I kind of mentioned there, which is just, it's almost like arcade perfect Frogger clone on the Spectrum. Multicoloured sprites and everything. Absolutely brilliant. Really is a grand bit of coding that. Really, really great. I mean, Midnight Brew, all of their games for the Spectrum are absolutely fantastic. I looked at loads in my last Spectrum book, actually. Volume 2, my Compendium Volume 2. And I looked at like Scramble, for example. I know that was one of the ones I included in that book. I'm trying to remember what else. Roust was one of the other ones as well, which was a remake of Joust. But there was I put quite a few in there. Their games are just brilliant. All their games are brilliant. Really are. Some of the best Spectrum homebrew out there. But the arcade recreations, Alan Turvey, that's his name, isn't it? I think who's behind Midnight Brew. But excellent. So a Football Manager game. That's cool to see. Ziona Quest. I'm not aware of that one. Looks interesting. Platformer. So ZX Ordles. That's going to be Wordle, isn't it? But on the Spectrum. Stuntman, Spectrum Brothers. That looks like a basic game. Looks like it's what's it called? Skydiver. Looks like it's a clone of Skydiver. The old Atari arcade game was also on the 2600. Dryer. And wasn't that I think that was on the NES, if I remember rightly. So I'm assuming that's a port of the NES game. I'm sure it's on the NES. There is Animated Owl, which I was talking about. It remakes the stuff in BASIC. So there it's got his 3D Death Crawl. Called that, obviously it's 3D Death Chase, but really slow because it's in BASIC. Slow Manic Willy. So these are the ones I was saying about a minute ago. So they're all here. So loads of his BASIC games. And he's done a BASIC listing. Look at that. That looks just like the old listings you used to see in the Sinclair Programs magazine, which I had loads of copies of that, which were given to me by somebody. And I remember typing in the listings from that. Most of the games were terrible, but I remember, typing in the listings and playing around with them and adding your own things and stuff. But it's so cool to see it presented like that, just like the old Sinclair Programs magazine. Really cool. There's a conversion of Gorf by Dini Soft. It's interesting where they've gone for the use a small display to get the screen ratio the same as the original arcade game, and then put this stuff down the sides and that looks really good. I must try that out because I'm a massive fan of Gorf, so I must give that a try. So Beat the Bookie, a gambling game, so just take a drink there. Welcome to Chump Town, a really nice looking platformer. Space Brothers, that looks very nice as well. It's amazing how graphically good some of these Spectrum homebrews are. They've really learned how to get round the attribute problems and the colour clash with the modern coding. It's really cool to see what they've done. Hacks for Games, Poppy Parrot by Crazy Duck Games. Looks quite interesting. What that's about. Bubble in Trouble. I saw this actually in I think it was a Spectrum group on Facebook, actually. It looks quite good. It's a kind of puzzle game. Arcade puzzle game kind of thing. Painter Man. That looks good. That looks like fast food. It reminds me of Fast Food Dizzy. Speculative Tabletop, The Legend of 8-Bit World. So they've got articles in this one as well, which is nice to see. There's some more reviews. A Dark and Mysterious Labyrinth and Rush, a puzzle game. Herbie Wants to Be a Millionaire. That looks really cool. Really cool indeed. Nice platform game there. Upgrade Snake. Don Ninja, which looks like, from there, it looks like a Hunchback ripoff. I wonder if it is. Just from looking at the screenshot there. Telly Thugs. Oh, that's quite cool. Breakspace Heroes, so another type in listing, which is awesome. Very good. Goblinorama. That looks very nice. Great graphics there. Bastardale Farm. Obviously taking the mick out of the UK soap opera. Emmerdale Farm, if you didn't realise. Echoes of Atlantis. So a nice graphical text adventure. And Bubble Cop. I saw this. Again, it's another one I do know about. Graphics are absolutely wonderful for it. All multicoloured sprites. Almost looks like it's like a Master System game or something. It's really, really good graphics on that game. Really good indeed. Steve's Quest for Coins. a platformer. The Last Bullet. That looks really good. Kind of some kind of top-down sort of commando style game, maybe, by the looks of that. Very good indeed. So not the Pyramid. So this, I think, was a. I think was this the one that was a remake of the old game, the Pyramid, or is it a new one? I think this might be a new one actually, because I know that there's an old game called the Pyramid, and someone remade that recently. Thoroughly Modding Willy, so it's teaching you how to make your own Jet Set Willy games using the original as a base, I'm guessing. Ghosts of Willy, which I'm guessing is exactly that. Sam Fox Pin-Up Poker, so it's a new Samantha Fox strip poker game, and if you don't know who Sam Fox is, very famous topless model from the 80s. There was, of course, an original Sam Fox game from the Spectrum, so kind of made that as a sequel. Has even better graphics and stuff. Baby Man versus the Termitots. That looks excellent. Look at the graphics on that. Absolutely brilliant. Waltris, so a new Tetris clone. There's loads of them on the Spectrum, let's face it. But this one's 2-player, so it's very nice, though, graphically in that. ZX, which is a kind of new take on Tetris. Very different indeed. Operation Move, very nice looking platformer. Chernobyl Al, another nice looking platformer. So this is a kind of remake of one of the, well, remake, a kind of reimagining of those kind of old LCD games. There's a few of these for the Spectrum actually. They've tried to make it look like tried to make it like an old sort of LCD game, but that's another one of those with the controls and stuff. There's the crossword like we had in the last one. Echoes of the Future, another text adventure. Deer Tanks. It said it reminded me of Wizard of War. That looks quite cool. That looks like right my kind of game actually, kind of like old single screen kind of arcade game style. Yeah, really looks good. Hair Trigger, I know about this one. Very cool platformer. Micro Chops. And that's the end of that book. That's the end of that one. So a really, really good, another really good issue. I mean, absolutely tons there. If you want to get into Spectrum Homebrew and want to know what the best games are to play and stuff, you can't go wrong with Breakspace because there's so much content in there, so many games. I try to follow the scene. Even then, there's tons of stuff I just didn't know about in these magazines. So yeah, if you're into the Spectrum or you're getting into the Spectrum, want some cool new homebrews to play, then go and download both these issues because there's loads of inspiration in there. And if you want to go and type in some listings as well on your Spectrum, there's some of these in here as well. So absolutely brilliant all round, really. I can't compliment these two magazines enough, especially considering they're free. There's just so much content in there for free magazines. Absolutely brilliant. Well done to everyone involved in them because they're absolutely fantastic. But I hope you enjoyed my look at Breakspace. And I've been the Laird, and I'll see you all again for another video very soon. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.